I visited my third European country today, Belgium. We drove to Bruges. It took less than 2 hours by car. I love this continent. They call Bruges the Venice of the North. And in some ways, I see their point. It's very beautiful, there are canals. The first thing we did was climb the bell tower, which was difficult not because of how tall it was, but because the stairs were so freaking narrow towards the top. But it was totally worth it, because once we got to the top, we got to hear the music play, which gets changed every 2 years. And we actually saw them on the way up, changing what essentially is a giant music box. And when we got to the top, we got to hear it. After that, we took a boat ride with our crazy captain who claimed he was James Bond, but he was also really funny. I was the only one really laughing at his jokes, you know, like most of my life. But I learned a lot about the varied architecture in Bruges. You can have sort of 7 different styles of architecture all right next to each other in 7 different houses. And that's just like a common thing throughout the city. There are 2 churches in Bruges. One of them's the Basilica and the other one is not, and to be honest with you, I don't know which is which. They both had sweet pipe organs, so that's all I cared about. I'm kidding. I didn't just care about the pipe organs. There was a lot of contemporary art within both of them that I noticed and thought was really interesting, combined with historical paintings and stained glass windows. I do remember that the second church we went into caught me off guard. They were both being restored, but this one had kind of a big white wall up in front that made it look really plain. And then we went behind the altar, and I was pleasantly surprised. The stained glass back there was really fascinating to me, and I probably could have looked at it all day, but I sort of wanted to move on. We got lost for a little bit, and then Guy bought me a waffle, so I didn't really care so much, because Belgian waffles. I realized that yesterday I didn't talk about where we're staying. We're actually staying with more family members. They're Guy's cousins, Danielle and Christian, I believe. Danielle speaks like one sentence of English, which is, I speak English very well, which is a lie, but that's okay. She's really sweet, and she tries really hard to communicate with me, even though we don't really speak the same language. Christian, on the other hand, was really, really nice and friendly when we got here, but I haven't really spoken to him since, and I sort of feel awkward, but it's okay. I've also met both of their kids. They're not kids. I've met both of their sons, who are interesting folks. We'll leave it at that.